Indiana's news leader. Eyewitness News Nightbeat starts now.
Because together we led this community on a journey that transformed Indianapolis from a basketball and racing town into a football haven.
Peyton Manning reflects on his storied career as an Indianapolis Colt as a new statue is unveiled outside Lucas Oil Stadium. And that was just the beginning of a big weekend that's all about honoring Peyton. Jason Spells is here now with a look at how that got started today. Jason?
Good evening, Jenny. We've known for months this day was going to come. The Indianapolis Colts were going to honor Peyton Manning with a statue in front of Lucas Oil Stadium, but no one could have predicted the stars that would come out for the unveiling. The fans, of course, welcoming number 18.
All right, Peyton.
He had his children there, Marshall and Mosley. The kids, they even got to meet a couple of famous people. Tony Dungy in attendance, Bill Poland, Marshall Falk, even the NFL commissioner came to Indianapolis. And the special guest we've been hearing about, none other than Indianapolis native David Letterman. All of this to help cement Peyton's legacy here in Indy. Here's what Peyton had to say about his new statue.
Pretty incredible. It does look like me. I mean, I was always on my toes throwing, and so I mean, he's got the knee brace built in there. He's got the sweatband. I don't know. It's really hard to describe. So still kind of sort of taking it all in.
He's not a handsome man anyway, so I like. No, I'm just kidding. I think it's awesome, man. I mean, I was sitting next to Ryan, the artist, when we were sitting there, and I was asking him kind of different parts of it, and he got it. I mean, if you think about 18, I love Letterman. The essence of him in the pocket. But it really is pretty awesome to see it and what they did. They did a fantastic job.
Not only did he change the skyline of the city, he changed the personality and the culture of this city. More importantly, as somebody who was born and raised here, still has family here, still loves Indiana, still loves Indianapolis, he left an imprint, a lasting imprint, indelible imprint, an influence that will live forever.
And there's not a day goes by that I'm not thankful for our friendship and what he's meant to this city and to this state. He is an iconic football player that transcends football, and what he's meant to Indiana is something really that words, it's very difficult to come up with the correct words to describe it.
A who's who at Lucas Oil Stadium today, and this is really just the beginning. A big day planned for Peyton tomorrow. The Colts will honor him at halftime of their game against the 49ers, officially retiring the number 18 and adding the Manning name to the Ring of Honor.
Oh, so exciting. And you could just feel the heartfelt emotions from everyone who got up there today.
Anytime Peyton chokes back tears, you know it's really hitting him, how important he is viewed here in Indianapolis and the way that the fans supported him throughout everything in his career.
Yeah, all right, Jason, thanks a lot. Well, most of Peyton's family was able to make the trip for his big moment this weekend. That includes his mom, Olivia Manning.
We've never had anything like this, so I'm sure it'll just be something that'll live on, and we'll enjoy coming back and seeing it there.
We caught up with Peyton's mom today as she and her sorority sisters dedicated a new room at the Peyton Manning Children's Hospital at St. Vincent. Now you can hear more from her and see some other memorable moments from today's ceremony on WTHR.com. That includes the end of the ceremony when Peyton showed he still has a bullet for an arm. He threw autographed footballs right into the crowd of fans. Well, security was tight at today's statue dedication, and it may be even more so at tomorrow's Colts game. Our Eyewitness News reporter Kevin Rader explains why you'll probably want to get to the game a lot earlier than usual.
Security on Saturday for the Peyton Manning statue unveiling will most likely be a precursor for what is to come for the Colts game on Sunday.
Pocket, no bigger than your hand. So
times are changing.
That's why I got a good friend who let me take my purse so I could get up there.
Lori Tubbs was lucky. Her friend was more than willing to be left holding the bag, or in this case, her purse, because the one she was carrying was too big. Same thing happened to this fan as well.
I'm okay with it. I feel better about it. Nobody had purses. Everybody had everything on the outside, so I feel pretty good about it.
Security will be extra tight at Sunday's game because Vice President Mike Pence is expected to be in attendance, which means traffic may also be an issue. But for the most part, everyone realizes what has to be done.
I was checked. I felt safe. We were able to enjoy the day. It was perfect.
I was glad for the security.
Yeah.
They all pat us down, whatever. They did what was necessary to make sure everybody was safe.
And that's a good thing.
Yeah.
The city of Indianapolis definitely makes you feel safe. Yeah. I feel like they always do their job.
No one was complaining.
Not at all. There's a lot of police presence. Everything feels safe. Indiana's a good place.
And with the Indianapolis Colts playing a big game on Sunday, a Garth Brooks concert, and now Air Force Two on the ground here in Indianapolis with the vice president so he can attend the Colts game, law enforcement will be working overtime to make sure it stays that way. In Indianapolis, Kevin Rader, Channel 13, Eyewitness News.
Tonight we are still tracking some rain on live Doppler 13 radar. You can see it's really pushed off to the east, though. It looks like the severe threat is over for the evening as well. I'm in the Weather Center tonight with meteorologist Kelly Green. So obviously we just mentioned a huge event tomorrow at Lucas Oil Stadium. There may be some lines getting through security. You want to make sure you're not going to get wet. Maybe the roof open or closed. What's it looking like?
Right. Well, with the 1 o'clock kickoff, I think we'll be okay for that part. It will be later in the game that we are tracking the remnants of Nate will be arriving. It's a quick moving system. We're still dealing with this cold front that did bring some gusty winds, but thank goodness it wasn't too bad. We still have some leftover showers right now in Laurel, Brookville, Liberty. Just saw the tail end of this moving on out of here. But as far as the severe wind goes, we stayed below that 58 mile per hour threshold. We did have a wind gust of 48 miles per hour in Seymour, 42 miles per hour in West Lafayette. They did have to postpone part of that game until a little bit later on this evening. That was the Purdue game. 41 mile per hour wind gusts in Peru and in Pendleton. Temperatures right now starting to fall into the low 60s. A gradual clearing of the skies is going to allow those temperatures to fall. The winds are already starting to die down, and they will continue to die down. It's been a breezy day nonetheless, but temperatures will fall into those upper 50s first thing tomorrow morning. Some patchy fog will be possible as well. A good part of tomorrow will be dry, but we are tracking the remnants of Nate, of the timing of that and how it will impact your Sunday afternoon, coming up in just a few minutes. Jenny?
Kelly, thank you. Happening now, a live look at the city of New Orleans tonight, where the National Weather Service is canceling a hurricane warning for the city. Now, while Hurricane Nate is sparing the city of New Orleans, it already has made landfall tonight in the mouth of the Mississippi, and a second landfall is expected later tonight. NBC's Jay Gray shows us the impact it's already having on the Gulf Coast tonight.
Nate made landfall along the southern edge of Louisiana early, crossing over and back into the Gulf, now taking aim in an area near the Mississippi-Alabama border.
Because this storm is moving so quickly at an unprecedented speed, that conditions are going to deteriorate rapidly.
Growing waves and wind along with driving rains pounding the coast from Louisiana through the Florida Panhandle. As many as 28 million could be affected by the storm.
It's really frightening.
Still, shelters across the strike zone are for the most part empty, despite early warnings from police.
It's not mandatory for you to evacuate yet, but I highly recommend it because that's my job.
Many making the decision to stock up on what they need and ride it out.
I've got my food, I've got my supplies, I've got a little generator.
This year's Atlantic hurricane season is one of the 10 most active on record. 14 named storms and 9 hurricanes. 5 of those major hurricanes, Category 3 or higher. And tonight, Nate, a strong reminder, the hurricane season continues through the end of November. Now look, this is a fast-moving storm. In fact, at one point, the fastest ever in the Gulf. The good news is that means it's going to move out fast as well. In fact, forecasters say by sunrise here tomorrow, it should be a clear, beautiful day. Hard to believe when you see the conditions right now. Jay Gray, NBC News, Mobile.
We are following breaking news now. Metro Police investigating a shooting on the northwest side of Indianapolis. This is a live look at the scene, 38th and Lafayette Road, where police got a call about a shooting just about an hour ago. We are working to get details on what happened here. Of course, we'll let you know on WTHR.com. Also tonight, police are investigating a deadly shooting on the east side of the city. Officers tell us one person is dead, another in the hospital after that shooting on East 16th Street. We're working to find out who was involved in both of these shootings. Again, once we know more, we will bring you that information on our website, WTHR.com. We'll also update you on sunrise beginning at 4 a.m. In Las Vegas today, doves flew into the sky in honor of the 58 innocent victims killed at a country music concert. And tonight, we are learning more disturbing details about how the gunman targeted them. Investigators now say the shooter left a note on a nightstand in Mandalay Bay. It included the distance between his room on the 32nd floor and the concert grounds below. But tonight, police still don't know why he did it.
On Sunday night, Las Vegas came face to face with pure evil. But no evil. No act of violence will ever diminish the strength and goodness of the American people.
That's Vice President Mike Pence, who spoke at a citywide unity prayer walk today before visiting the site of the shooting to pay his respects. Struggling 2.5 weeks later, the way Facebook is now planning to help the people of Puerto Rico. And a special tribute to Tom Petty, how the students in his former hometown are honoring the rock and roll legend. Plus, the accusations rapper Nelly is denying tonight that put him behind bars. Rapper Nelly is out of jail tonight after a woman called police and accused him of rape. Officers arrested him in a town outside of Seattle around 4:30 this morning. Nelly denies the woman's claims that he raped her on his tour bus in a Walmart parking lot. His attorney says he was released from jail pending an investigation. Nelly is expected to appear at his show, by the way, tonight in Washington. A special tribute to Tom Petty today during a college football game. Take a listen.
His third year.
Well, those are thousands of Florida Gators fans. They were singing "Won't Back Down" during their game today against LSU. It's all in tribute to Petty, who passed away earlier this week. Petty was born and raised in Gainesville, Florida, and he once worked as a groundskeeper at the University of Florida before making it big as a rocker.
The storms are moving on out of the state, but we're tracking the remnants of Nate. I'll have the details on how it will impact your Sunday as well as your work week forecast.
Plus, losing their jobs, the hundreds of people now out of work following Hurricane Irma. The Florida nursing home where a dozen people died after Hurricane Irma is now closed. Everyone was moved out of that facility last month, but not until days after the storm knocked out power to the building, causing it to overheat. The facility's license was later suspended, and all 245 workers on staff just found out they now have to find new jobs. 2.5 weeks after Hurricane Maria struck Puerto Rico, and 56% of residents there now have running water. However, the vast majority still don't have power. Also, people in remote areas of the island still need a lot of help. Communication remains a challenge there. Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg actually pledged to send a connectivity team to help restore communications in Puerto Rico. Meanwhile, just to get water and ice, people are waiting in lines for several hours.
No ice, no electric, no water, and even the food, too slow. We go to a store to buy. You have to wait a long time all over, wherever you go.
In fact, that line for ice had about 2,000 people in it. So still a lot of recovery to go there. The weather here, obviously we needed that rain and we got a lot of it. And fortunately, nothing turned severe this evening.
Yes, we dodged the bullet. We did have some gusty winds, but stayed below that severe threshold. So that was definitely some good news. We are tracking what will be the remnants of Nate tomorrow, and right now it's still a Category 1, packing in winds of 85 miles per hour, movement to the north at 20 miles per hour. That is twice as fast as Irma and Maria had moved. So this is really historically quickly moving across the area. It made its way into the Gulf Coast area, and it's still going to impact this area at least overnight, and then it will gradually start to push off and really diminish quite a bit as it moves a little bit farther to the north, and then it will start to take a turn to the northeast. But it is going to impact central Indiana as we get into tomorrow afternoon. In the meantime, today we started off with a lot of cloud coverage. Notice hoist that flag. I'll step out of this scene so you can see this time lapse. We had a very windy day. Winds were sustained between 15 and 25 miles per hour. We had gusts around 30 miles per hour and even a few gusts out of some of the storms that moved through. Live Doppler 13 radar showing most of the storms coming to an end, and here was the line of storms that moved in. Just after 5 o'clock tonight, we had that line that pushed in, and really nothing got too carried away with it. We did have some gusts around 45 to close to 50 miles per hour, but we had some heavy rain. We needed the rain, and now the skies are slowly starting to clear out. Temperature right now 61 in Marion, 67 degrees in Greensburg, 61 in Greencastle, and we are going to see a little bit cooler overnight than we have with the skies clearing out. Winds out of the southwest still at 11 miles per hour, but the wind is going to continue to relax. Eventually, the temperatures will fall to 52 in Noblesville, 57 in North Vernon, 54 in Greencastle, and 57 for Indianapolis. Tomorrow, we'll start off with clear skies. High pressure builds back in, and that will allow the skies to clear out, but then we'll start to see the remnants of Nate moving in from south to north, and as it does, we'll see increasing clouds. Now, we still don't know if the roof will be open yet for Lucas Oil Stadium, but nonetheless, there is that chance of rain tomorrow afternoon. Temperatures will climb into those mid-70s, and then showers will continue. They will be scattered here and there throughout the evening hours into early Monday morning, and then things will start to improve by Monday afternoon. So we are going to see some unsettled weather here. We're going to be dodging some chances of rain over the next several days, but 77 will be the high for Sunday afternoon. Chances of rain move in as early as late afternoon from the remnants of Nate. 80 degrees for Monday, and we'll see a sunny afternoon. And rain chances continue on Tuesday and Wednesday, a little bit cooler to finish off the end of the work week.
Thank you, Kelly. Still to come, we've got a lot of college football to talk about. You will not believe how the Purdue game ended. And Peyton Manning, the day belonged to him, and he still got it. Look at the passes like that. That made Reggie Wayne and Dallas Clark stars. We have much more from Manning coming up next.
From 13 Eyewitness News, this is the TCU Sports Desk.
The Peyton Manning did not make Indianapolis a sports town. Decades of racing and high school basketball did that. But Manning, the most popular player in the country's most popular sport, is the reason why Indianapolis is the city it is today. He helped craft the sports and civic landscape and change the perception of Indianapolis from that sleepy town people flew over to the sports destination you had to visit. This afternoon, the Colts made sure that the city will never forget what Peyton did by unveiling a larger-than-life statue to the Colts icon. And in typical Manning fashion, he didn't take the afternoon to talk about himself. Instead, he shared the spotlight with his team, the players and support staff who helped him bring a Super Bowl championship to Indy.
We weren't just a collection of players. We could have been the very definition of the word team. Because together we led this community on a journey that transformed Indianapolis from a basketball and racing town into a football haven.
I was blessed to coach in the National Football League for 28 years. I ran across a lot of players who were great people. You don't hear about all the great things they do. We tend to focus on the negatives, but I ran across a lot of great young men in those 28 years. I ran across a few men who were exceptionally talented and gifted and maybe the best of all time at what they do, but it's rare you run across one person with both those qualities. Great in the community, great person, and extremely gifted and talented, and that's Peyton Manning. I feel.
The Colts will host the 49ers tomorrow. To college football now, where Big Ten head coaches Jeff Brom and P.J. Fleck will forever be connected. Last offseason, there were rumors that Purdue wanted Fleck to lead their program. The former Western Michigan head coach instead landed at Minnesota, and the Boilers hired Jeff Brom. Both have had early success in their Big Ten careers, and they met today. Golden Gophers visiting the Boilermakers. Purdue honoring the late Joe Tiller at the start of this one. The legendary Boilermaker head coach passed away last weekend. This game had a little bit of everything, including a lengthy weather delay. Pick it up in the fourth quarter. The Boilers trailing by 1. Markel Jones bursts through for the score. puts Purdue on top. And the final chance for the Golden Gophers, Juwan Bentley ends any hope of a comeback. He's on cruise control for the pick six. Boilers get their first conference win of the season, 31-17. IU and Charleston Southern Hoosiers, coming off their worst loss of the year at Penn State, pitched the shutout today, 27-0, a big win. Big day for Peyton's in Indiana. Peyton Ramsey threw for 2 touchdowns. This one, both of them actually, to Pacier Mack. And you know it's your kind of day when things like this happen. Devontae Williams, the fumble, it falls forward. Peyton falls on it. Hoosiers once again win 27-0. They visit Michigan or take on Michigan next week. And North Carolina hosting Notre Dame. All Irish in this one. They go on to win it by a final of 33-10. Irish have won 4 in a row. Up next, USC next weekend.
That'll be a big one. All right. Thanks so much for joining us tonight. We hope to see you back here tomorrow. Have a great night.
Closed captioning is sponsored by me, Terry Lee, and Terry Lee Honda in beautiful Avon.